Invention Queen, and I have a special guest with me today. We're going to get a little devilish in the kitchen, and let me get this camera right first, and with our eggs. And we're going to go from simple to a new version and on to what I call Arlene's Extreme Deviled Eggs. There's only one way to do it, and that's just get in there and do it. We're going to show you and give you some tips on how you do your eggs, how you boil them, how you peel them, and then how you add additional ingredients, and then you can make them your own. Do that way. And soon, joining me in the kitchen will be my daughter, Missy, who you saw. Hi there.
Hi.
Like I promised you, I have a very special guest in our
Hey,
kitchen.
y'all.
Look at there, Missy. And it's her birthday, and we've celebrated mine yesterday, hers today, and guess what? Father's Day tomorrow. We're just celebrating ourselves to death. And today, Missy's going to show you some tips. She's going to do some deviled eggs her way. We're both going to join in and do deviled eggs a new way. And then you're going to get to see it go crazy with Arlene's Extreme Deviled Eggs. So stay tuned. Missy, are you ready?
I'm ready, so put your hair up when you're cooking.
I can't put mine up. Oh well, hers is fine. Yeah, we go. We'll see you in a little bit.
See you soon.
Hello, and today we're feeling devilish. And as a part, we're going to show you some tips on how you correctly boil eggs. And this is the eggs that are in the pot. We're going to turn it on. And the big tip is to start your eggs boiling in cold water. We will take and let them come to a high boil. Let them go for about 8 minutes. Then we're going to put our lid on, turn the eye off, and let them sit for the total of 20 minutes. We'll be back to you soon.
Action.
Hi, here we are again, and I'm going to show you just how simple it is to crack and peel an egg. Remember, we've boiled our eggs, we've done the ice bath, and now it's as simple as this. We're going to tap, turn, tap again, and then we're going to do the hand roll. And we're just going to roll this baby right on out. And this takes and pulls the membrane away from the egg. I still have my water, so I'm going to take and use it to clean the egg as I peel. And I'm just going to go around the egg, dipping as I need to. And voila, a perfectly peeled egg. That's the way we do it. You can see how we're multiplying. And we're going to continue peeling the eggs, and then Missy is going to take over and show you one of her tricks on how she pre-prepares her eggs. Stay tuned.
Hey y'all, so since we're doing eggs boiled and whatever, this is a trick I did in college and since then, long time. And I boil eggs if I'm making deviled eggs or egg salad or whatever, and I always keep a few extra in the refrigerator. And what I do is I take a Sharpie and I just write HB, hard boiled. Blow on it, let it dry, put it in there, and then you have a snack. You can have deviled eggs, you could have egg salad, you'd have whatever, it's all ready to go. I wouldn't store them for more than, I don't know, 3 to 5 days, I guess. Look it up on Google. And there you go. Okay, hey y'all, we've already got it started. This is the basic deviled egg, mayonnaise, yellow mustard, salt, pepper. Easy breezy, super simple. Some people like it simple. After you cut the eggs, I've got 2 done. You know, wipe your knife with a wet paper towel. You just take the egg, slice it, dump it, and there you go. Perfect. So when you're doing the mix for the yolks, you don't want it to be too creamy, you don't want it to be too dry. So if you see where you've gone, you might want to add a little bit more mustard. Not too much on the mustard. Mayonnaise, always good. Not too creamy, just add it in a little bit at a time. Stir it around. And the perfect mix is gonna look just a little bit creamy. See, like this, we want more mayonnaise. We want it to just be more creamy, but see how much I'm adding? Little bits at a time, not too much. See how creamy it's getting? You take it from the sides, bring it down. You don't want any hard pieces of yolk. You want it super duper creamy. I think this is good just done by hand because it adds a little bit of love. So once you have some done, I mean, you could get fancy and put it in a pastry thing and pipe it in. What I do, just like this, plop it in there, done. If you want to add a little bit of, and you can always do this. This is good. And just a teensy tiny, be careful with your paprika. You can use smoked, you can use regular, you can use hot, sweet, whatever. Just the teensiest, tiniest bit. And we have our basic deviled egg. There you go. 2, 3, go.
We promised you we would show you a new way to do deviled eggs. Let me assure you, I've been making deviled eggs for I can't even remember how many years. But I was young, so you know what happened there. But I usually had made them the way that I'll be showing you in a few minutes. And someone introduced me to a cream cheese deviled egg. I thought, am I gonna like that? But some people don't like the pickles, the onions, and all the other goodies that you'll see later on. So this one can be an option for you at your gatherings. So what I did was I took a small amount of cream cheese, and the recipe is going to be on the blog for all the specifics. But the big difference is I added cream cheese into what you saw Missy do before. I then added, and this is one of the secrets that gives them a different taste, is the apple cider vinegar. And I now have a new assistant down here. You can't see, but I have Missy's little Yorkie poo, Luna, which is my baby. And she's wanting to try out the deviled eggs, but we'll hold her off for just a few minutes. Again, like I said, 1/2 teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar, adding for a full recipe of deviled eggs, you'd want to add about 2 ounces of cream cheese that's softened. I really creamed it, and you can see that the texture is very creamy. Now, putting the smoked salmon, how about that, girls and guys? And then, a big surprise, capers. That gives you a total different treat. That could be on a brunch. It could be deviled eggs, or could any time. But that's one of the ideas. But let's say you really want to go hot with your deviled eggs. One of the options is jalapenos. You can chop these, de-seed them if you like them milder, into small pieces, as you can see. Now, here's the secret. Add as many as you like, not what I like, not what anybody else likes, but how hot do you like them? Let's add a few. I'm not going to add all these now, but you could. Okay, and then we're going to blend them in. I might need a few more. I'm feeling daring. And of course, remember, salt and pepper. And then it's just a thing of filling your egg whites. Now, how simple is that? Now you've got, if you look on the dish, you can see, and I'll come back and fill these completely, but just to show you, you have your jalapeno deviled eggs. You have your Missy's simple, in a few minutes, but delicious deviled eggs with the paprika on the top. And then you have the smoked salmon with the capers. What guest wouldn't like one or more or all of these. It's Arlene's Extreme Deviled Eggs that we've had people bring their own containers to take them home. You may not prefer it, but you can adapt this any way you like. I'm telling you, add it or subtract it. Do it or don't do it. Make them your own, and then you can put your name on the front of yours too. Here we go. Using the same process of the egg yolks being forked to make them very, very separated. I do a little trick. This is what I want to show you. I take both homemade pickles, pickle relish, and onions. Today I use red onions. You can use yellow onions, sweet, whatever you prefer. I just use what I have in my refrigerator. So I have taken them, processed them, and as you can see, they're very fine. It makes a big difference because you're not going to get a big, big chunk. Now we're just making a few for demo, so I'm not going to overload it. But that's a time-saving thing that I do. Instead of chop, 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 I do them from the full in little pieces to ready. Now I'm going to take, and I do the same thing Missy does. I add a little bit. Now I know I'm going to use more, but the one thing you can do is you can put it in, but if you get too much, you can't take it out. So here we go. I use Dijon mustard. A lot of people use the yellow mustard. That's okay if you want to, but I really like the flavor of the Dijon mustard in mine. I use dill weed. You know how you've seen me use fresh herbs, but in my deviled eggs, I use the real fine dill weed. I use it both, sprinkling some in, and I look like I'm putting more, but it's not coming out real free. I take my husband's homemade version of Charlie's Choice seasoning. You can use Charlie's Choice's seasoning because it's great, but let me assure you, Greg Miller's done a real good copy. So I take it, pour it in my hand first so that I don't do the dump. Sprinkle it around. Salt, pepper, oops, excuse me, to taste. Here we go. Remember I said we're doing deviled eggs, so they're going to have a little splash of hot sauce. Not too much, but just enough, just to spice it up. At that point in time, we're going to take and we're going to start blending. Just like before, and I can assure you, we need more. Like Missy said in the South, you can't get too much mayo, but you can in deviled eggs, but we're gonna add a little bit more like that. We're gonna keep creaming till we get that good old Southern deviled eggs just right. To this, sometimes I get real creative. I'm not doing it right now for the time, but you can add pimentos in this thing. You can do just all kind of crazy, and you will get to see me putting some fresh chives. Now, we're going to take, I have my dish ready. Swap just a little bit so you can see. Going to fill these eggs. Fill them as big as you want or tight as you want. It doesn't matter. Just according to your preference. I like a little bit of my egg yolk to go over on my whites. That's just me. But once you have all of the eggs stuffed, I usually stuff all of them and then go back around if I have extra. Or my husband walks in and helps me out on the extra. But as you can see, that was as simple almost as 1, 2, 3. If you're using a full recipe, I use probably 1/3 of a cup of mayo, maybe 1/8 of a cup of, or a couple of tablespoons of mustard. Now we get to the good part. I always like to see them pretty, don't you? Here we go with the paprika. They can go on there. Now, I do a little trick too here because I don't trust myself. I put it in my hand and sprinkle from my hand, controlling it. That way I seem to think I'm in control. Probably not, because I have dumped a little bit too much before. But you can always go back over and add more. I had one of my grandsons ask me, "What is that, Nana?" I said, "Some good stuff, so don't toy with it." Now, if you've got fresh chive, you can just cut directly onto the eggs here, but for demo purposes, I've already done the work and have chopped them. And just do the thing. Here we go. Now, if you turn down these eggs, I'm not going to serve you the next course. No, you'll like them. Or you'll like some variation of them. If you don't like chives, don't add chives. If you don't like some of the rest of the stuff that I put in there, you don't have to do it. Make it your extreme deviled eggs. This is our show for today. Missy's going to step in. We're going to say, hey, good luck with your eggs, and show us what you can do.
Okay, y'all, here we are. I think I'm in the camera, I'm not sure. But we've had so much fun. And are you curious where deviled eggs came from? Because we were. And so in ancient Rome, they used to serve hard-boiled eggs with spicy condiments, and in Andalusia, Spain, with paprika, just like how we do it today. And those spicy condiments, hot, peppery, whatever, were associated with meanness or anger, so thus deviled eggs. So here we are. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have fun. And
we'd like to hear from you.
Yes.
Tell us how you do your deviled eggs.
And cheers.